The year was 1985, and I was 15 years old. My friend Tony was 17. He and I were both breakdancers, which some people referred to as B-boys. Tony was from a poor family on the east side of San Jose, and I myself was from an upper middle class family in Almaden Valley. Both of us were pretty well known for our skills, and we had even won some local competitions in the San Francisco Bay Area. I would elaborate on that, but this story really has nothing to do with the hip-hop scene, or dancing for that matter. However, our backstory does explain our mindset and why we were where we were. Tony and I were always night owls, and we would stay up until the butt crack of dawn, practicing dance moves and shooting the shit. Because of our local notoriety, we also had kind of an influence on the other kids in the neighborhood, and we would typically keep them up all hours of the night too. It was 2:30 a.m. this one hot August night in particular. Tony was staying over at my parents' 3,500 square foot home. We had been talking to some friends that lived by my high school, which was located just on the other side of Almaden Expressway. That expressway, like the rest of Almaden Valley, was completely desolate after 11 p.m. You seriously would never see or hear anything but the frogs in the creek, croaking until the sun rose. Anyway, our friends by the high school asked us to come over and hang out in front of their house, because their parents were asleep at that time. Thinking nothing of it, we graciously accepted. There was a 6-foot wall that closed in Almaden Expressway to reduce the sound of 4-lane traffic, and also to try and detour pedestrians from crossing the road. However, walking to the traffic light on foot would have added about 15 minutes to our journey. Obviously, we chose to hop the wall. Like I said before, this suburban neighborhood was virtually closed down after 11 p.m. Without hesitation, Tony and I hopped the wall and looked both ways. You could see for a mile down either side of the street, and it was clear, so we started into the road. Joking and laughing along the way, we hadn't a worry in the world. We made it to the median without incident, as we normally did. We continued with our youthful banter, looked both ways, and started into the second half of the road. We get to the middle of the street, and quite literally, out of nowhere, there were headlights. This car was only 5 to 10 yards in front of us and was coming at us extremely rapidly. There was no time to react. Tony and I froze in our tracks like a couple of deer in the headlights. Too soon to say anything, too soon to make a sound. We simply closed our eyes and braced ourselves for the impact. Strangest thing about this is, you could hear a pin drop. There wasn't even the sound of an engine. But no time to ponder why that was the case. We were both goners, and we knew it. Seconds passed, and nothing. No crash, no pain, no being flung into the air like rag dolls. We both opened our eyes in disbelief. Looked in front of us, nothing. Looked behind us, and there were the car's taillights, leaving us at the exact same speed that it had come. We were both so puzzled that we didn't even run off of the road. Instead, we just stood there with thousands of questions. The first question came out of my mouth. "How are we still here?" I asked, as my voice was trembling with fear. Tony didn't answer. Instead, he replied with a question. "Did that car just drive through us?" "I don't know," I replied. "There was no engine sound, no screeching tires, no horn blowing, no reaction from the driver whatsoever." "What the hell just happened?" we asked, but there were no answers. Only more questions as we made our way out of the street. We were just teenagers then, and 2 days later had completely stopped talking about it. Eventually, we had chalked it up to, well, that was weird. I am now 45, and only recently have I really started to wonder. Disbelief? Shock? Ghost car? Overlapping timelines? Alternate dimensions? Just how did that car not splatter us all over the expressway?